Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Gina Griffith and I'm the Director of Integrated Health Services at Georgia State University. Today we are going to be doing Take Care of Yourself Tuesday, and we're going to be making a peaceful place mindfulness bowl. So don't worry if you don't have a bowl. You can use a cup or you can use a saucer or anything you have around the house. So this is one of these projects where you can just take whatever you got around the house, put it together and make something fun, okay? So during this time, a lot of us have been focused on what we can't do, and that can impact your mood. So what we thought we would do today is work on something that you can do, and it's going to give you a sense of accomplishment, and then hopefully you'll have fun in the process of making it, and it'll also help you to de-stress, okay? So let's get started and have some fun. One of the great things about this project is that it got me outside in nature, and I was able to walk around the yard and find various things to use for my project. So when I went around, I was trying to find different colors, different textures. Because this is a mindfulness project, we want to be able to focus in on the different colors that we see and the different textures. And so I was able to find some really nice moss growing outside that I'm going to use in my project. I found some pretty little flowers, so I got some darker pink and then some lighter pink ones, so I think it's going to make a nice little contrast there. I found some rocks, and then I found some blue stones that I think I'm going to pretend like they're water. These are left over from a craft project that I did last year. So say you don't have all of these things. I'd also found a bridge, but if you don't have all of these things, that's okay. You could just maybe find a pine cone and paint that and turn that into a flower. Or you can just use rocks. And if you don't have a big bowl, you can always use a cup, like one of your old coffee cups, put some dirt in it, and then we can put different flowers and things in there to make a peaceful cup, okay? So let's get started on this bowl. So I had this project that I had done before last year, and it's got a little house and it had moss on there. So I thought that I would continue working on this project and build it up and make this into my peaceful place. So one of the first things we're going to want to do is kind of think about, what we want it to look like. And I think what I'd like it to look like is I'd like it to have look like some water flowing. So I think I'll put the blue rocks in there like this. And I'm going to get some water so I can spray, because I want to be able to dig in this dirt a little bit more. What's really nice is as I'm working, I'm able to kind of look at the different colors that I'm seeing, which is really nice and soothing. I think about the color blue, and what the color blue does for me anyway is it makes me feel relaxed. So I think about that, and I also think about how these rocks feel. They feel really, they're like little glass pieces, and so they feel really soft and smooth, and they're slightly cool as well. So that's nice. And then I think about the changes in textures, like this rock feels rough versus this soil feels very dry and grainy. And so it's just the time to kind of appreciate the different things that I feel, the different things that I see. And I look at all these colors on these rocks. These are pretty cool. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, so I've got like kind of a little water going on. Put some more rocks in, kind of like that. And I'm going to put some of this moss in here, and I will wet this all down after we get finished. So I think it's going to move pretty good for me. I don't need to wet it right now. But if the soil isn't moving, then you can just wet it a little bit for you. But this looks really pretty, putting the green moss in there. You just kind of put it in there, feel it, and it feels so good. And even though you may not be able to make one of these at home, pretend like you're here working on this, and what would it feel like to be touching this moss right now? What would you notice on your fingers? So it feels kind of prickly. So just kind of honing in as you're doing this to the different sensations that you're feeling, the different textures that you feel. And I'm noticing already that I'm starting to feel just so relaxed and starting to feel like, wow, I'm creating something that can be all my own. Or if I want to share it with somebody, I can share it with somebody and let them enjoy it as well. Okay, so then we can put in some of our flowers, and these will grow. And if you don't have flowers, you can just look around your house, see if you have any pretend flowers, some artificial flowers. You can stick some of those in there. Whatever works for you. This is your project. I found some artificial ivy and kind of stick in there. In different spots. And I'm going to put this other little flower over on this side for the little house. And I'm liking that so far. Okay, and then you just kind of look at it and think about what else you might want to add. Maybe some mushrooms or some more rocks. And I have this little bridge that I can add if I want to. Yeah, that's not bad. I can pretend like this is a little bridge over a nice brook. And just keep building till it gets to how you want it to be. I'm kind of liking that. What do you all think? This looks pretty good, huh? So then once you do after that is you can do a mindfulness exercise with this beautiful little scene that you have created. So let's take a moment and do that. Okay, so this is what the finished product looks like. So it looks pretty nice. So we've got our moss in there, so I'm going to water that and it's going to start growing. So I've got life in my peaceful place. There's a little bridge and water, flowers going all around, a little house. So I can imagine that I am in this little place if I would like to. I can put a little bench in there if I want to, and imagine that I'm just sitting there on the bench, just enjoying the ripple of the water. And I look and see what colors I notice, what smells I may smell in this place, and just spend some time enjoying it from time to time. I must tell you, after doing this, I do feel a lot better. I feel a lot less stressed. It was fun to get my hands in the dirt and kind of play. I think this time of COVID-19 is bringing out the child in us because we're having to learn some ways to cope with all the changes that are going on. And one of the ways to cope is to do something creative. So coloring or making things. So I'm glad that you joined me today to make this nice, peaceful, and mindfulness bowl to help us to remember to be mindful. With a cup. Just put some flowers in there, some rocks, and just sit there and meditate on the cup and the different colors that you see, the textures. This is your own little mini break from the day, and you created it yourself. For those who want to go to the beach, I got this sand for $3.99. You can get it online. And I just put it in a little saucer that goes underneath a pot. It was broken, and I'm going to repurpose it this way. And so I put the sand in there and some shells I found at the beach last year and some of those colored beads. And here I've got a little mini beach if I want to have a mini beach. And I can just kind of play in the sand and enjoy the sand. Pretend like I'm taking a dip in the water and look at all the different textures and colors that I see there. Thank you for joining me as I made a Peaceful Place Mindfulness Bowl. I hope that it was something that gave you some relaxation and that you might be willing to try on your own at home. And I hope that it helps you have a sense that you have accomplished something and that it gave you some peace and some joy. Be well, GSU.